thank you so much for being here. Do you think you could introduce yourself to us?
Yeah, my name is Lila Ahern, and I also do artwork at the side.
Cool. So, what do you do for a living?
Well, I am a stay-at-home mom right now, struggling with my 11-month-old baby. So I am mostly at home and just doing wife duty. But I also do a lot of other things, like pretty much spend most of the time just doing pictures and learning a lot of Adobe software programs right now, which is a little overwhelming.
Yeah. Have you taken any classes to improve your photography?
I taken just like tutorials on YouTube, not a specific formal class. I've been doing photography like on and off as a hobby on the side for like, I don't know, 7 years, and I really like that. But I decided to go back to it because now that I'm at work or at home, it's better to just, and also with COVID, it's probably better to just kind of be the one who's doing the photography and make money more than modeling. But yeah, I just take tutorials and mentor some photographers, kind of get into it, and also learn things online.
Cool. So how did you get into photography?
I think that since I was a kid, I really liked just art in general. I really like drawing, fashion, model looks. I don't know. Since I was like 5 years old, and I just really like beauty in general. And so I wanted to do modeling. I think that's kind of where I started, and I couldn't really find agencies, especially I was little, so it was hard for me to do that. So I decided to just start taking pictures and do myself. I had friends take pictures of me, and I would edit them. And I really enjoyed doing that more than being a model. So start going that direction.
Cool.
How do you think math is part of your photography process?
Right now, since I'm learning different things with Adobe, especially like how to align the pictures, I'm not really sure exactly. I know I'm using a lot of like geometry in terms of like the shapes and angles. Not specifically like numbers. I mean, I do look at numbers like when I look at different types of tones for colors. You know, like there's always numbers for each of those. I mean, I'm aware of numbers, not specifically making mathematical equations out of it. But there's definitely a lot of I mean, there is a lot of math, I guess you could say, intuitively, like to be aware of the perspective. I really can't really explain exactly how, but of course also with numbers, I do make sure it does come in handy when it comes to making money, investment, how much time you're investing, time and money, and making sure that you're making profit. So there is math when it comes to investment part of the business.
So what is the hardest part about being a photographer?
Competition. There's a lot of competition, and I think right now with social media, there's just so many apps that allows people to do so much things that, of course, not high quality, but a lot of people just kind of like that quick and go, and that's good enough for them. So I feel like a lot of people get more savvy with photography, that it doesn't leave room for photographers to create more work. They have to really step up their game to really stand out, like up too much. I mean, I think it's that I think the hard part would be, making sure that you stand out, trying to find your clients that are not really into photography, but they're not too savvy with things like that, and still be interested in doing that. And also fighting the idea of natural beauty when it comes to photography. I think there's a lot of people who like that natural beauty, which is great, but there's also a part of imagery, like creativity, and making things look a little bit not realistic. Like almost like how you imagine how it would look if I look like this, or it depends on the style of the photographer and the client. I think it's really looking what are the clients really wanting and catering to that style, Or if a client likes your style, then this is what you're gonna get.
Can you give us a little bit more detail about how you use math in your everyday life?
In my everyday life, especially with budgeting as a couple, we try to manage how much we make and how much do we spend in each account. We have a certain account for our food, groceries, for travel, for vacation, for date night. And so we're always trying to keep balance how much we have to keep receipts to balance how much we spend during a month. And we also create a graph to kind of show how much, if we have overpassed the budget or not. And at the end, if we have spent less than we imagined, because we do have like a quota, how much we want to not spend. So whatever's left, then we keep that for ourselves as a reward for our personal expenses and whatever we want to do with. So yeah, there's a lot of budgeting with everything.
Could you explain a little bit about your style of photography?
Yeah. I think it comes like second nature to me. I really like the Vogue style, especially that sort of like almost like an editorial. So what I do is lifestyle in general, but I like to give it a little bit of that twist of high fashion and almost like kind of give the everyday person the sort of taste of how it would be to be famous looking, like if a magazine style. I have done this with some people and they really like it, other people don't like that. So I have to check, do you want to look more natural or do you want to look a little bit more high end or like what style? But in general, my style is high fashion or fashion with engagement or with pregnancy.
What is or was the biggest challenge in your career?
Well, right now, my challenge is learning Adobe Photoshop really well. I'm trying to be learning on the side as I'm also trying to, make it unique and best. So I'm taking pictures of people. Right now, growing my portfolio, so of course I'm not making a lot. Because a lot of people kind of volunteer. I mean, of course I get pictures, but in return, some other pictures I do on my website and advertisement. So it's like a lot of time investment finding clients. Those are challenges, but of course the biggest one is really learning the programs. Different versions of Lightroom, how to use presets, how to use overlay, background change, like all those things that you would get in apps for like just really quick. You have more control with those programs like Adobe Photoshop, but it's really learning it from scratch. I mean, this is creative for professionals, so like as a beginner, it's definitely a challenge and a headache, especially when we have a little baby around. It gets challenging. So that's my current challenge. So learning programs.
Thank you.
So how did you build your social media platform?
So besides photography, I also do graphic design. I'm going in the direction, where that's kind of where I wanted to. My objective is to be a stay-at-home mom, work part-time for graphic design for a company, and then have my own personal business, freelance photography. So it's like money from both ways. So with that, I started like 2 Instagrams for social media. And so one is for photography and one's for graphic design. And then I also started a social media of Facebook, of course, of my personal and also my fan page like that. And currently I'm working on my website, connecting links that goes to those social media sites. So it's started to put myself out there with pictures that I already have from years past and just kind of re-editing them with the new knowledge that I have now, making them look a little bit better. And so, I guess you could say recycled pictures, kind of what I've been doing a little bit on the side. But yeah, so I'm growing my social media by doing that and exposing myself really quick, really early on, so people start seeing what I have and creating followers right away. And then kind of building my audience.
So thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me here, being flexible.